You're welcome to today's lesson. We'll be looking at the best way to trade candles and the best categories of candles every trader should focus on. If you are not new to trading the forex market, you should already know that there are a lot of candlesticks in the forex market with several names. There is also a lot of noise in the forex market. That's why as a trader, you must learn to be specific and consistent in your approach to trading. Be specific in your approach to candlestick, support, resistance, exit, entry, risk management, and so on. You have to be specific in all this area. Now, the question is, why should I be specific and consistent? You have to be specific and consistent in order to reduce the noise in the market. You know, when you keep doing something over and over and over again, you become the master of that thing. You know when it works, when it does not work, and you build your confidence in that particular thing. Okay? You should know that the forex market is the biggest and one of the most traded markets in the world. The biggest and the most traded. It's highly volatile, it's noisy. You know, a lot goes on in the forex market. A lot. Now, the question is, how do we survive in this highly volatile, noisy market? How do we survive? How do we survive? One of the ways to survive is to be specific and to be consistent in what works. That is one way. The best way to profitably survive the market is to be specific in our approach to the market. Be specific and be consistent. That is the best way you can actually survive this highly volatile market. That is why in this course, I'll be teaching us how to be specific in our approach to the market. How to be specific in our approach to the market. It's really surprising to me when I see traders doing A today and B tomorrow, and the next day they are trying something else. A new strategy, a new entry point, a new entry strategy, a new exit strategy, new everything. You can't survive the forex market this way. Sincerely, you can't survive the forex market this way. For the sake of these lessons, I will be focusing on how to be specific in our approach to candlestick. We also look at other areas in the next lesson, but for the sake of this lesson, I just want to show us how we can be specific in our approach to candlestick, and also the 3 categories of candles that you should focus more on. I will tell you the reason why you should focus more on these candles as we go on with this lesson. The first category of candles are the candles with big bodies. Candlestick with big bodies. Not just candlestick with body, but candlestick with big bodies. Now, I'll go in detail into all these various sections as we go on with this lesson. But just take note of this, that the first candlestick or the first category of candles are the candlestick with bodies. The second one is candlestick. These are the candlestick with obvious wick rejection. Not just any wick, obvious wick rejection. The third categories are candlestick with small body. The first category, candlestick with big body. Second category, candlestick with obvious wick rejection. Third category, the candlestick with small body. Like I said, I will give detailed explanation, a chart explanation on these 3 categories of candles as we go on with this lesson. I will show you how they play out in the chart and what you should do when you see them playing out in some certain areas in the market. When it's playing at support, what do you do? When it's playing at resistance, what should you do? Now, this is one very important reason why you should focus mainly on these three categories. Of course, when we talk about candlestick with bodies, there are a lot of candlestick with bodies. We have the Marabuzu, we have engulfing candles. All these are candlestick with bodies. Now, when we talk about candlestick with weak rejection, we have a lot of them. Hammer, hanging man, so many of them. When we talk about candlestick with bodies, we talk about the dojis. We have about 4 kind of dojis. And all these candles have various names. But this is what I always advise my students to do, and what I always advise traders to do, is that focus on these 3 categories, so that whether you are seeing Marabuzu, whether you are seeing engulfing candle, you have classified them to be candlestick with bodies. So no matter the numbers of candlestick with bodies in the market, you see them as one. It has removed a lot of noise from the chart. You see them as one. Now, when you see candlestick with weak rejection, obvious weak rejection, and whether bullish, bearish, you see them as one. Now, when you see a candlestick with small bodies, you also see them as one. So you have summarized all the candlestick in forex into 3 by categorizing them into these 3 categories. Now, as you're looking at the chart, you are only seeing 3 candles. You're not seeing hundreds of candles or 50 candles or 70 candles. So that is actually the idea when I said you have to be specific. Now, I know it might not really be that clear to us, but when we go into the next lesson, when you start seeing them in play out in the chart, you understand the reason why you need to be specific. Not just being specific, you also need to be consistent. You need to be consistent. So that is the idea. That is the idea. So if you want to survive this highly volatile market, you must learn to be specific and consistent in that thing that you are doing. Be consistent in it. When it does not work, when it works, stay there, stay on it, master it. Be a master of that particular style. You get what I'm saying? So that is the first thing every trader should do. That is the first thing every trader should do. I have stick to these 3 categories of candles. I've built my psychology around it. I've built my mindset around it. So no matter what is playing in the market, no matter the hundreds of candles that is being formed, I only see 3 candles. Just 3. Candlestick with bodies, candlestick with obvious weak, and candlestick with what? With small bodies. Let me tell you the truth. If you can master this concept, indirectly, you have summarized every candlestick in the market into 3. That all the candlestick in the market are just 3. But you have to train your mindset to stick to it. And that is what we'll be doing in this lesson. So as we move over to the next lesson, I'll be throwing more light on the candlestick with big bodies. I'll show you in the chart and what you should do when they are being formed in support or in resistance area. What should you do? Now, and we also need to be careful, not that when you see a big body candle or a candlestick with obvious wick, you just start entering into the market. No, there are other things that you have to consider. That's why I said follow these lessons to the end, so that you will know the ones to ignore and the ones not to ignore. Okay? So it's something that is really very, very simple. It's very, very easy. But you have to practice. You have to build your mindset to actually grab it. So I will be stopping here for now. So just go over to the next lesson to get full details of what I just did now. And I believe your trading career is going to change for good. Trust me. Have a nice day.